Good day, I'm Renzo Carino from E12C. I was no longer surprised that our PE subject was all about Arnis because I had already seen grade 12 students practicing Arnis. So I thought maybe in grade 12, our lesson is Arnis as well. I was amazed and very happy to know that our topic in grade 12 PE subject is Arnis because ever since I wanted to learn the national martial arts of the Philippines, which is Arnis. And PE subject gave me a chance to learn and experience it. I have encountered a lot of problems like complicated strikes, which is hard to execute because it's very difficult when in the video. But the problem I always encountered is the place where do the Arnis. Since there are many of us at home, I have a hard time to find the right time when no one is home. I watched the video over and over again until I tried to keep up with it to make sure what I did was accurate, and then I started videoing myself. Before doing this, I always have a right warm up, and I always give my best in every video to have an amazing output. I learn a lot in this subject, like being flexible all the time, because in our situation, a lot of things have changed, like the way we learn, online learning, and being patient in executing the strikes, learning how to properly execute a strike. And one of the best thing I learned in this subject is being hardworking because in this subject you need to have focus and full of attention and give always your best work to have an satisfying output. Thank you.
At first, I do expect that Arnis is the topic that we will be talking about this semester, and when I confirm that Arnis is the topic that we will be talking about, the first thing that comes to my mind is that this semester will be a challenge for us students. The problem that I occasionally encounter is the lack of space because it is hard to adjust my movement because I don't want to break anything while doing the activity. The strategies that I use in order for me to do the activity is to be flexible and have space awareness because, as I mentioned earlier, lack of space is the main problem when I'm doing the activity and I don't want to break something. That is why I needed to be flexible and have a space awareness. The lesson that I have learned in this semester is the earnest exercise because I can apply it to be able to exercise my wrist. Not only the topic that I learned, I also learned the strategies that I apply when making the activities because I can apply being flexible and having space awareness inside or outside the house.
So for the first question, my answer is that I just think of martial arts. Yeah, that's mostly it. And learning arnis is a very new thing for me. Yeah. Second question. Let me read it. Yeah. Mostly what I encounter most is my bad posture and the slow movements. That's my problem. Yeah, I need to really work on my, you know, for the third question, and mostly the skills that I need to do to every activity is trying to be perfectly, try to be in rhythm with in the video and try to copy its movement perfectly so that wouldn't look so bad. And number five is I learned that the lesson I learned is that really working on with group mates is a bit hard, but it's worth it at the end. And the lesson I learned is from this harness is that I can use it for martial arts and I can use it for self defense too. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna use it for the future for self-defense mostly. That's all. Thank you.
The first thing that comes to my mind when I found out that our subject for the whole semester is all about earnings is that I feel excited. Um, I wasn't shocked because a lot of senior high school students are practicing earnings in the quadrangle, and it was fun and exciting to learn. But despite of this pandemic, we are able to practice earnings online, and it was fun but challenging. In knowing my activities or outputs, the problems that I usually encountered is that when I perform the earnings, it takes a lot of time to get the right video because of its mistakes, background noises, and because of its limited space inside our house. The strategy that I use to execute the skills needed in earnings is that I need to practice it many times for it to be executed perfectly. It takes a lot of time considering that we need to practice it, the movements, the steps, and the timing. The lesson that I learned in this subject that I can use in the future is the harness itself. Harness is used to defend ourselves and to protect other people. It also taught us on how to become responsible in using it, and it taught us to become more disciplined.